The BS with Bob Schmidt podcast, usually talking entrepreneurship, business, and marketing, but today I'm celebrating my 50th birthday, so it's going to be a solo cast. I remember when my mother turned 40, I thought she was old. When I turned 40, it wasn't a big deal. In fact, 10 years ago, when I turned 40, I was celebrating the 1 year of being cigarette-free. It was the best birthday gift I've ever given to myself. From 39 to 40, my present to myself was not to smoke. Every year since then, I've given myself the same gift. This year I turned 50, the half-century mark. Kind of weird to think that I've been around for 50 years. I wonder what I'll accomplish in the next 50. These first 50 years of my life have been pretty amazing, to say the least. I've accomplished a lot. In fact, I've spent 30-plus years in the radio business. I've started and owned a couple of businesses. I've been successful in making and keeping friends. I brought 4 wonderful children into this world, and I believe they all have bright futures ahead of them. I try to do the right thing. Of course, there's times when I haven't. I believe that's the case with everyone. We sometimes are hard on ourselves, and that goes for me as well. I look at some of the things that I failed and thought to myself that that's pretty shitty. You can do better than that. I've let myself down many times in life, and I've let others down as well. But, I look at the broader sense of things and decided that failure is a part of life. If you don't fail, how do you accept and appreciate success? If you don't fail, how do you know that you've had success? Or how do you know when to be grateful? Being grateful is a fantastic gift, and failure helps you to be grateful. Sure, when I was younger, I looked at failure as something that I never wanted to experience. But as I got older, I learned to appreciate what failure experience brings. May 30th, my life changed forever. I had a job that I loved doing, and I thought I was pretty good at. However, I failed to keep that job. I got laid off, and the greater understanding of pushing forward and pushing through the problems, I believe, have made me a successful person. Success is not an overnight thing. Success is something that you put hard work into, and eventually you'll become an overnight success that people think that you've achieved. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to give my podcast a like, and thanks for giving me the opportunity for spending time listening, because time is one of those things that you can never get back once it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone, and with money you can always make more. With relationships that fail, you can always make new friends. You can always find a new person to be with. But once your time is gone, it's gone. As I sit and contemplate the last 50 years of my life, I realize I've wasted a lot of time on stupid things. I've wasted a lot of money on stupid things. I've wasted many years of life doing what I probably shouldn't have been doing. But in the grand scheme of things, I've done things that are more beneficial to my fellow man than less beneficial, and I'd say yes. I try to do the right things for the right reason. I try to be a good man, and most of all, I try to be a good father. If your business would like help telling your story, please get a hold of me. The BS with Bob Schmidt podcast, a service of podcastforhire.com. Thanks for my sponsors, Orange Computer La Crosse and Tri-State Sound and Lights in La Crosse.